Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Money Hungry Mama podcast. I am excited today because I have Brittany here today. Brittany, take it away.
Hello. Also, Brittany, and my business partner, Brittany. Brittany's all around. Yes. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm excited to be here. I am a mom of a 2.5-year-old girl. And I have a little beagle pup. And yeah, Brittany and I started BRITEbrand Studio about just over 3 years ago now. And we're a creative partner for small business owners that empower women.
Love it.
And we help them create a brand and marketing strategy and really just a whole foundation for their business that is built on strategy and designed for growth. And so that includes strategy, brand identity, brand design, and website design.
Awesome. Okay, so Bright Brand Studio. How did
Yeah.
this come to be? When was the decision that you were like, yes, we're doing this?
Yeah. So Brittany and I worked together at my previous job. I was at a boutique wealth management firm for 11 years.
Wow.
And I was running their marketing, and I needed a designer because my skills are more on the marketing and marketing ops side. And so Brittany came in for an interview, and it was like love at first sight. Like, yes, we're the perfect match. So we have the complementary skill sets, which is nice. But we worked together for a few years, and then she was doing her side business. And in 2022, she last minute came on a trip to Miami with me. So we were, out on out getting some like drinks and apps in South Beach. Um, she was just like, we should start our own business.
I love it.
I laughed at her. I never thought of myself as being a business owner or an entrepreneur or anything. I never thought of it. But then over the next few months we were doing some like projects on like freelance projects together. And then the point where we were like, yeah, this is definitely what we're doing was later that year I got unexpectedly laid off the day the day after my IVF implantation.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, my job of 11 years. So that was a shock. And so Brittany and I were just like, well, we're going to do it. And now this is the time. It's meant to be. I always wanted to work part-time when I had a kid for a few years at least. And so we were like, this is whatever. This is what we're doing. This is perfect timing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Honestly, guys, you heard it here first. Everything great happens over appetizers and drinks. Like, honestly.
Right?
Wow. Okay. So I cannot believe this. So you go the first thing of IVF and then you just are let go the next day.
Yeah.
Everything
Well,
happens for
I know. Well, when you do it, they're like, make sure that over the next couple weeks you just stay very calm and stress free. And then like that bomb got dropped, and I was like, okay, bye. I mean, I didn't think that, I was just like, they're so lucky that I have to stay calm right now. No, I'm just kidding.
or
No,
I
I mean,
woulda. My gosh.
so
Wow.
it was, it was what it was. It was bad timing, but ended up being perfect timing. Life. You just got to roll with it.
It's crazy. It's crazy when one door opens, I mean closes, another door opens. So,
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
you guys started with some freelance projects and all these things. What was the biggest challenge you faced when launching your business?
Well, I guess the biggest challenge was being pregnant for the first time and just figuring out what my, capacity was to work. I know a lot of people are working full time while pregnant, right? But I was like, well, I don't know, you're just not feeling that well, especially when you're on all the IVF medications and stuff too. So it was kind of challenging getting up and running there. But really, I mean, other Brittany is pretty much a serial entrepreneur. She owned her own glass blowing and
Cool.
she majored in glass blowing. And she had her own studio up in Rochester, studio and gallery. And so she had that for years, and then she moved down here, and her and her husband, well, back then they actually started it. They started their own business. They developed the first digital kiln controller. So she knows how this stuff works. She's been like, running her own businesses. So she was really the perfect person to partner up with. And she's probably she's the reason why I did it. I probably wouldn't have done it on my own. I just would have, found another
Yeah.
job.
No,
So
especially
glad
because
that I did it. Yeah.
no, 100%, especially because you guys play on each other's, like, opposites and strengths. Yeah, like, having the designers is a huge part too, that's amazing. So,
Mhm.
as you were going through and now you guys are a business and you have these clients, what is the biggest mistake that you're seeing small business owners make with their branding early on?
The biggest mistake, I don't know if let's see, I don't know if it's necessarily a mistake, but I know that a lot of people, when they first come to us, they're like, I need a website. I need SEO or whatever they kind of think they need at the time, or they don't have it, so they do need it. We're like, whoa, 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 like, let's take it back a step. Have you done your brand and marketing strategy? Do you have a messaging playbook? Do you have, all the, different pieces of your brand's design built out? Because we need that stuff in order to create an effective website. And when I say brand design, it's not just, your favorite colors or a logo that you like just whipped up. It's like something that's actually, yes, it represents you and your business, but it speaks to your target customer. So it really has to be geared for your target customer.
Yeah. I think it's so funny because when I think of brand, right? Like as somebody who's just like in business, whenever I hear the word brand, I'm thinking, oh, like you just said, like the colors and the logo. And like that's the brand. But as I'm on here and talking to you and like the strategist behind it, it's like, no, there's way more than just those two things. It's your voice, it's your messages. So I love like learning all these things because it's like, no, I nailed it. Like, what do you mean? I have a brand. Like it's my colors and my logo.
Sorry. Sorry to tell
Yeah.
you otherwise. No, just you have a great brand.
It's just so funny because it's just like, it's things that you don't think about that are included in that packaging. And I think the more people do their research and reach out and get ideas and understanding, they're going to learn what a brand actually is. And it's just way beyond, like you said. So
Yeah.
we mentioned SEO and people coming to ask about how to use it. What are some of the tips that you give for how to utilize SEO? And can you explain it a little bit for somebody who is hearing it? Like, I have no idea what you're talking
Okay. I love SEO.
about.
So
Good.
it's one of my favorite parts of marketing. I think it's pretty fascinating, the different programs that they have, like Moz and SEMrush and stuff. So what you have to do is, after you do your, you know, basic strategy, figure out your target audience and their pain points, and, what gets them to get to the point where they have to search online for help from Google or GPT or, whatever they use. It's like, what phrase or keywords are they going to type in there? And that's the most important thing to know. And so you come up with a list, and then you have to build your website around those key terms pretty much. That's like a quick way to say it, but you know, what I actually do behind the scenes is I plug all those phrases and stuff that we come up with into the SEO programs. And then you can see, are other people going after those keywords? What are your competitors going after? What's actually driving traffic to their website? Maybe they're ranking for a keyword, but it's only driving one person a month to their website.
Mhm.
Another keyword that they're, maybe ranked number 24, so they're not, but it's not like driving traffic. There's a whole bunch of different considerations, and kind of like weigh the options, and you figure out which key phrases you want to go after based on how many people are searching them, what, there's all sorts of different criteria. And once you narrow it down, yeah, you build your website around those.
I love how simple that you just made that, right? Like it's like especially for moms that are listening for the first time, like wanting to learn all these things. It's, you know,
Yeah.
you think of it as putting it in and it's like, what is somebody searching? What is your, no, not somebody, what is your target audience searching and you would pop up like that you can help them, their pain points. That was fantastic. Yeah, no, it's so true. And then I remember one of my hustles a while back was blogging, and putting SEO words in there was like huge. Like you want to make it so it fits and it doesn't look like you're overdoing it. And like there's just so much mentality that goes into SEO that like you don't think about when you're building your website. I
Yeah.
That was fantastic. So what are some you mentioned a couple. What are some SEO tools that you love that you're just like you should absolutely have this?
Well, so I have to say with like SEMrush and Moz and stuff, I mean, those are, I'd say, like the two premium, the two like my two favorites. But I mean, they are 120 a month.
Mhm.
Um, so sometimes you just want to have someone like create the plan for you. And then if you're a writer, you can just execute on it. So we do that for some people, or sometimes we implement it, sometimes we just let them implement it. But if you want to get the program for a month or two, you can, do that and create it yourself. But there's like other workarounds, but I would say if you want to do it right, just get Moz.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is nice to have it long term because then you can track and see how you're doing over time and, keep an eye on competitors and stuff. You can also see in Google Search Console and, Google Analytics and HubSpot if you use it. Like if you're using some of those different programs, you can see what you are ranking for. So you can kind of measure how you're doing, but it's best just to have one of the actual SEO programs.
Yeah, and honestly, like if especially you guys that are listening, right? Like if you're in the business beginning of business and maybe you've had 3 years and this is the first time that you actually understand what SEO is, I love that you have a package where you're just like, "Hey, like we'll do the research for you and then you can implement it," right? Because I do think that hiring somebody that knows what they're doing, especially if you don't, is going to absolutely help you understand it even more. And then
Yeah.
you can get something like Moz or SEMrush to just stay up with it and be like, okay, like now I understand what I'm supposed to do because Brittany gave it to me and I
Yeah.
could take it and continue to keep learning on my own. No, I love that. And we've had a couple strategist and I've talked to strategists too. I've never heard of somebody having just like an SEO plan where like you can help them figure out what their SEO is and then they implement it. I think that that's great. That's such
Yeah.
a great option. I love that.
Awesome. Yeah. And you also have to keep in mind with SEO, like it's also links. It's like internal linking on your website,
Mhm.
backlinks from other sites. So like if you can, get featured somewhere or do a guest blog on some like slightly better known website than yours, then like that's a good backlink for you. And then it's also just site performance is important. So making sure that Google can, when the search engines crawl your site, they understand what's on there. They know that it's helpful for users. And now there's the whole like AI overlay too, optimizing for AI, which that stuff is kind of always evolving. So you got to, you know, keep up with it. And, but no matter what, I feel like SEO is still the basis of all of that.
100% because that's going to be how you get noticed. That's like every algorithm, whether it's Google or social media, everything needs SEO. Everybody's searching
Yeah.
somewhere for something.
Right.
So I had heard recently, and you can be like, I want your honest opinion. There is little mumbles between are websites absolutely needed anymore because everybody is on social media? Do you think that there's still such a strong part, or do you think it's something where people can swap with something else if they're just focusing on social media?
Well, I mean, I guess Instagram, for example, has a lot more features than it used to, where you can have links and like, calls to action. I think you still need landing pages, landing pages like a website page that someone
Mhm.
can go from your Instagram to like, you know, fill out a certain form for a download or, a lead magnet that you create. So you definitely still need those. I think best practice to look official, like an actual, business, yes, have a website. But I think people can last longer now without a website because of all the additional features on Instagram. But yeah, if you want to look official, get a website.
I love it. That's how I feel too. I just feel like whenever somebody asks, I'm like, yeah, no, like that's cool, but also like a website. Just it brings that extra layer of okay, this person like means it. I don't know why I still feel that way, but I do. I'm like, when I see a website, I'm like, no, they're real. That's a real business for me.
Yeah.
It's so true. It's so, so true. Yeah, I've been hearing those little mumblings. I'm like, I just wanna ask. I wanna ask how you feel about that because that is something that's definitely, you know. Okay, so you have your Bright brand launchpad.
Yes.
So what does that involve and who is that designed for?
Yeah. So the launch pad is our signature package. It's the full brand and marketing foundation for your business as we see it. So we have four, we don't just do like, a 1 hour strategy session or something. This
Mhm.
is four 90-minute sessions, spread out over a month or two, depending on your schedule. And, the first one we go through, your purpose and some of like the core like reasons why you exist. And we go through options for your target audience and we build out a persona and like all the detail. Then in the next session we talk about your competitors and we compare like what are they doing, how big is their team? What's their key messaging? What does their brand look like? What services are they offering? What's the pricing? So we have like a big comparison chart and we see, okay, based on all this, how can we make you different? How can we differentiate you? And then kind of from there we look at key value proposition, your brand story, what, we want that to look like. What's your brand personality and tone going to be like? And, like I said, that is based on you and the core of who you are, but it's geared towards your target audience. So kind of like connecting the two of you.
Yeah.
Then we move into marketing. So that's just the first two sessions. Then in marketing, we look at SWOT analysis. Ugh, sounds so corporate, but it's important.
Yeah.
SWOT analysis.
I'm like, "Oh my
And
god, the cops are coming in? What do you mean?"
yeah, no. And and then a client experience map. So like every single step of their experience with you, what are they feeling? What are they doing? What are your opportunities to wow them and to
Mhm.
meet them where they're at? And then from there, a full out from there we do a funnel and a marketing funnel and then a full out marketing plan for the year. So based on your business objectives, what marketing strategies should you focus your time on because we can't do everything.
Mhm.
Um and then, what tactics from there, how are you going to measure your progress or so the whole thing. So
Very cool.
that's a strategy. Then from there, we take like all of our findings and stuff when we create the brand identity. So the messaging playbook and like the look and feel of the brand, including logo and colors and typography. And just we can, create some templates and stuff. And then from there, we create the website. So it's like 4 month process.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's good for business owners that maybe have been just on Instagram for a while, or they like did a DIY website, but they're like, okay, I need to take a step back and get kind of like a CMO level strategy and brand foundation in place.
Yeah, I just like it's so interesting to hear everything that you're saying because yes, I've been in business for like 10 years now, but at the same exact time, like hearing it how you're saying it, it's like, oh my gosh, there's so many steps that you don't
Yeah.
even realize that you're doing. You're just like, no, like I just need to do it. And I feel like if I had hired you 10 years ago, it wouldn't taken me so dang long to get there, right? So I really
Mhm.
think that that's really cool that you just have it down to a science and it was your job. So, like, the terms like SWAT and stuff, I don't even know what that means, but that's cool. Like, I still think of Chicago PD coming in, but, that's me.
No, please no.
Yes, that's me. It's just so funny. So, I want to ask you, you've been in business, you're helping these businesses. Is there like a success story that really shows the impact of strategic branding?
Yes. Let me think of one. We worked with we had a business strategist, like coach strategist, um, reach out to us for help with the website. And that was one of the stories where we're like, well, we need to take it back a step
Hmm.
because she's also like a serial entrepreneur and has a bunch of businesses. And so she needed a website for her latest business. And we were like, well, hang on a sec. Do you have messaging? Do you have, a brand guidelines like look and feel and everything? And she's like, "Well, I'm still kind of developing the ideas." And we're like, "We don't think it's time yet then to like invest in a website if you don't have that groundwork." So we ended up doing the strategy sessions with her, helped her kind of plan out what she wanted her this new
Mhm.
business to look like and think through all of the things that you really have to slow down and step back
Yeah.
to think about and really like intentionally build this brand and new business. So, yeah, when we were done going through those strategy sessions, she was like, "Wow, like I'm so grateful that like we stopped and to like take a beat, like, take a second and kind of think through that." And so now she's kind of ready to go to move forward with intention, she said.
I love that. I love that because honestly, I always say too, in the first year of business, you're going to change so much. Like what the thing that you're doing today is, I can promise you, I don't care what it is not going to be the same exact thing that you're doing 365 days from now. So,
Yeah.
like, one of the biggest lessons I've learned in all the hustling was to not make a website the day you're launching. Like, let's let that sit for a second because
Mhm.
that is not needed to start getting your message or your business out there, right? But when you
Yeah.
have it and you have that voice and you have that intention, then for sure, I think it's a great investment. I love that.
Yeah.
So, you talk a lot about natural networking. What does that exactly mean to you? And how does that help you grow your brand?
Yeah. I love meeting people and getting to know them and talking to them and stuff. But honestly, it has been such a contrast from when I was in the financial industry. And like I had to go to well, I enjoyed going to conferences and stuff, but I just like didn't really enjoy talking to those people and like everyone was dressed up in suits, oh, investments, this and that. And I know that, but it's not really, I didn't feel like that was the place for me. But when I
Mhm.
would go to a conference or now when I'm networking and I'm going to mom events, made for mothers, baby Cito, like, or even like the Alexandria women's professional networking or whatever, like, I just like love meeting everybody. I love, telling people about my business. I love hearing about their businesses, like all these small business owners, what they're doing. They're so passionate about it. They're so creative and fun and hearing where they are in the process. And it's just like so enjoyable and so natural. So that's what I see as like natural networking. Like I want to get to know these people and hear about them and what they're doing. And if we're no matter what, we want to support each other
Mhm.
because we like each other. We're having a good time. We're connecting. But if we become each other's clients, cool. But if not, like maybe we refer business. But it's just such a contrast from the stuffy conferences I used to go to and just like felt uncomfortable at, honestly.
No, it's so true. It's so true. It's like finding your space to network and meeting people. And I don't think you can ever go wrong putting your face in a room because you don't know who
Yeah.
else is in that room. It's so, so true. So, what's one mindset shift that every entrepreneur needs when building their brand?
Yeah, I mean, I would go back to kind of like what I was saying before, like they need to all business owners need to kind of like take a step back and make sure they're looking at the full all the planning and all like the intentional building of their brand rather than, rushing to Fiverr to get a logo made or kind of throwing things together. Cause you need to make sure that it's gonna be effective if you're taking the time and the effort and the money to do it.
I love it. Yeah. No, it's so true. I mean, that's definitely the common theme of today is like step back and look at your whole business because when you're in the thick of it, sometimes you forget all the pieces of it and you could just leave some.
Yeah, go, 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 check things off the list, keep moving forward.
No, 100%. I feel like, especially as moms, we're just surviving. The thriving, I'm waiting for that moment. Like most of the time, it's like, I'm just making it through. I'm just making it through.
Yeah, like, what is due today?
100%. Like, if it doesn't need to be due today, can I wait till tomorrow or will something implode? I don't know. We'll find
Right.
out. It's like this never ending game of let's find out. What is the toughest decision that you have made as a business owner, and what did you learn from it?
I guess I think the toughest decision as a business owner. I would say just becoming a business owner in the first place and becoming a business owner and staying a business owner, I would say. I love it so much. So that's what I'm doing. But it was tough coming out of a corporate job and having such a high income. And I haven't made it quite back up to that point yet.
Yeah.
And, because we're working part time, we're building intentionally. I took 6 months off after my daughter was born. Then Brittany had a baby. And so we kind of like been bopping around, And so it is tough to know that in a corporate job, maybe I could be making more at this time. But I would be so much less happy.
Yeah, it wouldn't be your
Have
schedule.
so much creativity, and I just love what we're building, and I love, every day working with Brittany. So we have a lot of fun, and working with our clients. But it is tough to know the that it takes a while to
Yeah.
build up to that.
Yeah, and, like, I just want everybody to hear that because that's what I love about this podcast so much. Like, I feel like social media is a lot of smoke and mirrors in most points. Like, they're showing something that might actually not be what's happening behind the curtain, and you're not alone. Like, I can't even tell you, I think it was last week, I was like, "I should just go back to teaching and get that 9 to 5 job." And it's like, "No, what are you doing? Like, you're just tired today. You don't feel good.
Yeah.
Like, just go to bed." And it's like, it's so funny, but it's so true. Like, there's that stability, and I feel like that's, like, where a lot of the fight is. It's the stability over the comfort because, eventually, once you build up your business, which is going to take time, and I say that every time on this podcast, I am not a smoke and mirrors person, like, it's gonna take time, but when you get to it, like, yes, it's taking time, but you took 6 months off. And, like, you get to go to
Yeah.
the park when you want, and you get to do the things that you want and the coffee shops that you want. Let me tell you right now, if I was back in teaching, I still wouldn't be able to even pee when I wanted. So,
Yeah,
there's,
my
like
mom talks about that.
like, it's so
That's so
true.
funny.
It's
Yeah.
so true.
Like, you
So
have
it's
to
just
ask someone to, like, watch your class
yeah.
so you can go
100%, 100%, but now
pretty.
I just go padiddle whenever I want, and that is a really nice thing to have. So, I just talked myself back into it, okay? So, if
Yeah.
I was doubting it, I'm right back in. I'm right back into what I'm doing because it's so true. I just think, it's a give and take in anything in life, right? Like, what's gonna make you the happiest? For sure.
Right, yeah.
So, where do you see Bright Brand Studio headed in the next 1 to 3 years? Any big new goals or something that you have planned?
Yeah. So in
Yay.
the next 3 years, we're really ramping things up. So, like I said, for the first 2.5 years, we were kind of like on and off and maternity leaves and so last year we spent the year really buckling down and doing our own planning, like for our own
Mhm.
business, launched our new website in the fall. And, we just got on social media last year, finally. Like we just started really um so 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 this year my daughter just started daycare, and Brittany just got a second nanny. So we're really starting to like work more hours and buckle down and grow the business. I definitely see us growing a lot in the next 3 years, and hopefully making it to a place where we're supporting ourselves and self-sufficient, and you know um just feeling good about where we're at.
I love it. I love it. What trends in branding or small business marketing are you most excited about right now in 2026?
Mhm. Um, I know everyone is really into threads right now, so we are excited to get in there as well and start participating more on that side. I also am just really excited to see what keeps happening with AI, because even though some of the imagery and stuff is, image generation isn't perfect,
Mhm.
or even like the text, like if you generate text, I'm like, oh, that website was created on Chat GPT. I can tell, or that website copy. But everything's just getting better and better and better, and so I'm so excited to see where it goes. I know we just started working in this program called Tolstoy, where you can, like, put in a picture. Have you heard of it?
No.
Okay. You can, like, put in a picture, or you can, like, select a model and you can upload a script, like an AI model, and, like, have them, like, talk through the script, and so I know they still have some improvement to do as well, but it's just amazing what you can do, so I'm
Wow.
excited to see how that continues to improve and what kind of, if we're ever gonna be able to use it at a point where, it's trustworthy and, you know,
Very
and
cool.
performs well.
That is awesome. No, I haven't heard of that one. There's just like so many new sites and things popping up every single day. I just feel like I'll never catch up. I'm like, that is
I know,
cool.
I know.
It's crazy. There's just something for everything now. It's absolutely wild.
Yeah.
So, Brittany, my favorite question. What does being a money hungry mama mean to you?
Money Hungry Mama. I would say I love the name, by the way. Makes
Thank
me
you.
laugh every time I hear it. I would say Money Hungry Mama is not like about, greed or anything. It's about one side of it, I guess, is about, for me, is about just like equality and being self-sufficient and getting rid of you know, the gender wage gap and all of
Mhm.
that. So like just like being hungry to, you know, be equals and be feminists and all this stuff. The other side of it is really for like to not be held back by money. I think that I've always loved to travel. We've been to Japan and Peru and Thailand and like all sorts of cool places. And I want to continue doing that. I
Mhm.
want my daughter to experience that. And there's a lot of things to do that are free and are amazing, like going to the
Yeah.
park, like anything with your kid for me is just like a spark of joy. It's so much fun. Anything can be meaningful, but I do also want to take her on those trips and do
Mhm.
things that, you do need money for. So I am hungry for those experiences.
I love that. And that's never been brought up before. And I really love that framework too of like being hungry to like bridge the wage gap and like trying to provide and being able to travel and do these things. Like it's so true because I love when people usually lead with like it's not greed because that's not what this is, right? It's just like hungry for wanting more, like not being settled with being in a situation you're not happy in. Like I say it all the time,
Yeah.
we have one life here. You should be doing it if you want to go to the park with your kid or watching them grow because it goes so fast and then it's over. And it's like, what are you going to do? Look back and be like, oh, I was at work for 90% of that.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to do that. So, no, I love that so much. Now, Brittany, where can our listeners support you?
You can find us on Instagram at BRITEbrand Studio. We also have a newsletter we're launching this probably next week. Well, depending on when you're listening to this, we're launching it this year. So we will have it live. So you can subscribe to that. And yeah, message us, DM us. We want to hear from you.
I love it. I love it. It has been an absolute pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much.